Hello, welcome. So today's game, we are going to do an exercise called the 3-ball game. I don't really have a really unique name for it. So I played this game since grad school. So I've had this game in my arsenal for years. Works awesome with students and actors particularly. This game works really well with communicating with others, learning body languages. For actors, it really helps with cues, ensemble building and whatnot, building a rapport with your actors, because it's very important for us to build a rapport with actors when we're on stage. Now, how this works for students, particularly for exceptional students, this builds ensemble work and gets the students more comfortable around others. A lot of times we run into people that we might not know, or we just knowing who they are for just a few seconds that we have them here. So exercises like this and many exercises that you're gonna see really helps build these communication skills and having comfortability with others, all right? And for you as the educator, what this really does is, as you can watch, like for me in this game, I'm going to play with them, but as an educator, you can kind of gauge them and kind of take notes, explore what the students are doing, how they interact with the exercise, how they interact with throwing the ball, catching the ball, or how they interact with dropping the ball. All these things kind of come together and help building a comfortability with themselves, all right? So once again, this game is called the 3-ball game, all right? Nothing extravagant. So how you're gonna start off is, you're gonna start off in a circle, right? Like so. Make sure they're probably about, I would say about arm's length and whatnot. This game is really even better. It's even better when you have more people. You can play with 4 people, but the more people, the more, I wouldn't say hard, the more slightly complex it can be, but it's very exercising. So start off in a circle like you see right now, right? All right, facing in, of course. So what you're gonna do is, if you are the person with the ball, or whoever has the person with the ball, you take the first ball, and you have everyone raise their hand, raise one hand. I'm sorry, one hand. So raise one hand. The person with the ball must throw it to a person who has their hand up. So I'm gonna throw it to Demarius, and when Demarius catches the ball, he takes his hand down, and he throws it to a person with their hand up. So it's TJ and Mahaman. And now here's the key. Whoever the last person is to catch the ball must throw it to the person that started it. So Mahaman's gonna throw it to me. Now, here's the trickier part. You have to remember who you threw it to, because now we're going to continue to throw it to the same people over and over, all right? And the key thing to this, and I know certain students are not able to have eye contact, but it also helps for the students to kind of find some kind of engaging way to work with their partners, all right? So if it's not eye contact, of course we're gonna do eye contact, but if it's some way that they can communicate with them, whether it's a gesture, whatever, this helps them build some kind of gesture or some kind of communication way of adjusting to whoever they're throwing to. So once again, throw to Demarius. Now the key thing is that don't tell them that they have to remember who they threw it to. Just kind of like let them kind of figure out, kind of work their own brains to figure out who they threw to. So far, this is pretty simple. Good. Now, what I like about this exercise, it seems simple, but things happen and whatnot. Like for example, what if I drop it? How does that person react to it? This is the point where you as the educator encourage them. If they drop it, it's fine. Hey, just pick it up, it's okay. Even if someone smirks, giggles, laugh, the comfortability is what we want to encourage. So if they drop it, no biggie, just catch it. Now also calculate who throws it. How did the person drop it? Did the person drop it because the person that threw it maybe too hard? Or was the person that was catching it not prepared? These are things, not mistakes to calculate, but things to calculate so we can have a rapport and good ensemble building. Because at the end of the day, this is teamwork, all right? So, notice things about how a person throws the ball. See, maybe I throw overhand. Maybe the person, maybe the person can throw it that way. If they can't, good. Now let's say I have to throw it a little bit slightly because maybe Demarius can't catch it. So maybe I have to be prepared myself. It's all about adjusting to who you're throwing it to. This builds teamwork. All right, so we got the first ball. Now, let's make it more interesting. Now, we have two options. Now, what I do with the second ball, either you could do this. Either you can start off the second ball with throwing it in the reverse order. Or, if you have, this really works well when you have more than 4 people. You can have someone start it all over from the first step with everyone raising their hand, you throw it to somebody different with their hand up, and you keep going. You could do it like that. But in this case, for this example, we're gonna throw it reverse. So what this does is not only does this exercise for exceptional students, their brains, but this also exercises just a normal student's brain. I know it exercises my head. So we're going to throw reverse. So I'm going to throw to Mahaman, TJ, yep, Demarius. There you go. Pretty simple, right? Now, this is where it gets complex. At any time, insert the other ball. If they get confused, it's okay. See, I drop it, I pick it back up. See if Demarius knows where to throw it now. It's okay. Good. Okay. See, if you notice what I did, if you pay attention, sometimes it's not going to always be perfect. But what helps is you wait for the person, eye contact, and when you know the person's ready, then you throw it. Good. Oh, it's all right. Good. Had to think about it myself. See, it can get confusing. All right, I'm gonna start it again one more time. All right. I think they got confused, but it's okay. All right. Forward. Remember, backwards. Good. One more time. I got it. Remember. Boom, boop, boop, boop. Forward. There you go. So remember, this is forward. There you go. Ready? Forward ball. Good. Now what helps is sometimes you have to reset at the ensemble. Get back on par. Sometimes it helps to go back to the basics before you get more complex. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Good. 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 All right. Remember, always wait for the person to give you eye contact. Very good. This also helps you concentrate. Because sometimes we got a lot going on. But if you notice, at the end of the day, you know who's throwing it to you. You know the only communication that you're having. Good. Now, you're probably wondering, when does the third ball come into place? Well, you're going to see in a few minutes. The third ball, I'm going to tell it what I'm going to say exactly what I'm doing first. I'm going to tell you guys what I'm about to do with the third ball, and they're going to hear it. But this is just something that you observe. If you tell them. If not, don't worry about it. Reverse. There you go. Good. So, with the third ball, what I like to do is, just to keep it simple, I just pass the ball in a circle. So in a circle, yeah. Good. I will try it again. It's all good. It's all good. I got you. I got it. Or I got you. Sometimes what helps, pass around, pass around, pass around. There you go. Sometimes, even as the educator, stop all the balls so you can get everyone together. Now, the key thing to this game is, and I should have said in the beginning, is make sure that all the balls are different color. Because what helps is, when they see that ball, they say, what ball is that? Oh, okay, the colorful ball. That ball goes in a circle. These are keys to helping them out. And the cool thing about in control of the ball is that you can stop it anytime you want. So sometimes, if you're the one that's running the exercise, this works well because then you can have control of the ball. But you have to be ahead of the curve. So. Good. Good. Ooh, sorry. Good, much better, much better. Good. You see how TJ waited for me? He waited for me until he knew I was ready. Good. What helps is always wait for your person to be ready. No rush. Nothing should be rushed. Good. Good. The key thing is you throw it when you know your partner is ready. Good. 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 Now let's see if we can insert the second one. Reverse. Thank you. Good. 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 It requires some thinking. Good. You see, it's all about patience. Good. Mohammed waited, thank you. TJ waited, thank you. Good. Good. Pretty simple. Now, the more people it is, it could be easy, it could be a little bit more complex. But what helps is coach through your students. The main thing is, a lot of times they get confused. It's okay. What you do is you ask them, how did you get confused? And what this also does, what I really like about this exercise, what it does is it relaxes actors, because we all want to do something. As actors, we all want to do something. But as people, we always want to do something. Sometimes it takes stopping, breathing, waiting for the others to be able to communicate, all right? So it teaches a lot of patience with this game, all right? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, back again. All right, so the name of this game is called the greeting game. This is a good icebreaker. It's a very fun exercise. It's very fun to play with the students and whatnot. And it kind of gets them acclimated and kind of really comfortable around the kids. Plus, it gets their blood pumping. So that's what we really want. In acting, we want everyone's blood to be pumping. As students, we want their blood to be pumping, all right? So breathing in and accepting stimulus that comes to you. So we're gonna start off with another exercise called milling and seething, and then we're gonna segue into the greeting exercise. So I'm gonna ask my students to walk around the space, not in a circle, not in a line, try to vary it. And we're gonna start off at a pace of 5. Now, a pace of 5, I always do my paces between 1 through 10. 1 with the slowest walk, so have them do their slowest walk that they can go for 1, 5 as a pedestrian pace, and 10 as a fast walk. Don't let your students run. Trust me, if you have a lot of students, they can run into each other. So make sure that if it's a 10, they do a fast walk. Or if you don't want to do 10, you don't have to go as high as a 10. So 5. Now, I always encourage my students to always walk at their 5, because as you can see, we have different students with different sizes. So I encourage them to walk at their pace of what they identify as a 5, all right? So, have them walk at a 5. Let's crank it up a little bit. Let's go off at a 7. What does a 7 feel like? When do you walk at a 7 in your natural life? All right? Is a 7 comfortable for you? Is a 7 more comfortable for you than a 5? All right. Let's go to an 8. What do you notice about your pace? What do you notice about your breathing? What do you notice about the people in the room? Do you notice anybody in the room? Do you even want to? Now, the cool thing about the pacing is that when we are, as people, we tend to not focus on the things that when we move fast, right? Students, whether they're exceptional children, regular students, or just people in general, we just get up and every day and we go, all right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of students and a lot of people in general go at a 7 and don't even take time to look at what's going on, right? Because the faster we move, the quicker we don't have to be in a situation. But what happens when this happens? Everyone at a 2. The cool thing about a 2 pace is that time stands still just a little bit better. We start to notice things. We start to notice that we're in each other's spaces. When you do this exercise at a 2 or a 3, you notice, what your students are gonna notice is that they are amongst each other. So no matter how fast they want to move, they're near somebody. Be as brave, take it to a 1. A 1 is a very discovering pace. When they're at a 1, they could discover so much. We as people, we as everyone, have a hard time discovering because we're always moving fast. So let's test this theory and see if they're discovering anything. Let's take it to a 9. At this point of exercise, I love this point of exercise because they get to move in, and then I do this. Stop. Close your eyes. Point to the 3, 4 balls. With your eyes closed, by the way. Open them. Did you get it right? Not quite. There you go. All right. See? It tests to see if they've been really exploring. All right. 9 again. Stop. Close your eyes. Point to the person who is wearing a green shirt. Now, what this does is not only do they pay attention to the room and their space, now they have to pay attention to others in the room, right? This makes them more comfortable to seek other things and seek other people in the room, all right? And it makes them more comfortable. Open your eyes. Good, good. TJ, you better get it right. All right, so everyone walk at a 5. Now, I'm gonna introduce you the greeting game, all right? So the greeting game is a pretty fun exercise I found on the internet. It really, really helps. And it's really it's a very fun exercise, and it kind of gets people to being a little bit silly, all right? So first, you're gonna ask your students to walk around and greet each other, all right? Now, before they greet each other, all right? Now, I wanna give you a disclaimer. Now, I know that we all greet in certain ways, where handshakes and stuff like that. During this time with COVID-19, I do encourage different ways of greeting and different ways of adapting to the things that require you to touch each other. So if you want to, you can encourage your students to not greet each other using physical touch. They can greet each other in any way they want to. So first, you ask your students to walk around, and then you ask them to greet each other. So everyone greet each other without touching each other, and no verbal. All right. Continue to walk around. Make sure if you have eye contact with someone, and they share their eye contact with you, then you can greet them. Good. Good. This gives them a way to greet each other. Just kind of start off, all right? And always allow them to do this however they feel comfortable. Handshake or wave, but in this case, they're not gonna do handshakes, all right? Then, now you wanna ask your people to greet each other in a specific way, all right? But continue to ask them to walk around the space, all right? Greeting in different ways. Now, let's throw a little curveball. Everyone greet someone that you really don't trust. So choose someone that you don't trust and greet them. You'll notice that everyone will do it differently in their own way. This shows their own natural characteristics, but it also shows how they perceive all these things. Every student perceives all these stimulating ideas in their own way. Like, what does it mean to greet someone that you don't really care for, that you don't really trust? All right? This makes them be able to express in their own ways of how they can interpret anything that you give them. All right? This makes them unique. All right? So let's give them another one. Greet someone as if they were a long lost friend. As you can see, they can do this without even touching each other. All right. All right, let's give them another one. All right. Greet someone who has really bad breath. Let's give one more. Greet someone like you have a crush on them. Good, good. All right. Now here's one last one, just for giggles. Greet someone like you're a cowboy. There you go. So everyone can drop it. So as you can see, this is a good icebreaker. So everyone can be silly, express in their own way, express however they want to. Because remember, all of us are unique. All right? Thank you guys so much. So this next game and last game. Remember, I have plenty of games. If you have any questions, contact me, and I have a lot of fun exercises that you can do with your students. So the name of this game is called The Machine. Now this is another good icebreaker. It gets the students acting up a little bit, not in a bad way, but more of acting freely and being innovative. All right, so this is how the machine game works. So one person is gonna come up, I'm gonna point to one person, and they're gonna come up. They have to pick one gesture, full-on gesture, try to get them to use their body as much. All these exercises, you want them to use their body as much as possible. As they're doing that gesture, wherever it is, as they do the gesture, they have to make a sound, right? And they have to repeat the gesture and the sound in the same way, all right? So, with the first person start, what happens is you introduce a second person, the second person comes up, and not only do you have to do a gesture, new gesture, different gesture, and a different sound, they have to have something that complements what the other person is already doing. So it's going to be continuous on, and you add on, so and so and so and so. This is a really cool exercise. It gets all the kids, you know, acting up and just kind of having fun and whatnot. But it also builds ensemble because you just can't make a gesture and make a sound without it complementing on what's going on. So never want to upstage each other, all right? So let's try it out. All right. Demirius, you go first.
Eric, 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 Eric,
Now, if you want to join them, even better. And good. So as you can see, this is also exercise that you can join with them. And trust me, I also always encourage all my educators, if there's an exercise that you can join the students with, even better. Hey, just remember, they have to earn trust with them, but they also have to earn trust with you. All right? I'm all about building character with your students. So if you have any questions, anything you want to ask me, contact me freely. My information will be online. Thank you guys so much.